Hey guys, it's your boy DevTheBeast here, and welcome to another video where today we're going to be playing Warframe, which is a game that is simply put very grindy, but in my opinion also pretty fun. And it was pretty unique the first time I played it, which is how I'm gonna segue into talking about my time with the game, since this is a game that I've definitely played before. Don't bother looking at how much time I've spent on the game, but it's definitely a game I've played before, just not on the channel. So if you want to skip past this, I'm gonna be talking about this for most of the video, but I am still doing something productive throughout the video. Right now, I have one of the longer missions that we do in the video just playing in the background, but we do three missions that I just kind of had to do, and yeah, I guess just it's nothing too significant, so it is skippable. This is just kind of an introduction to me playing Warframe on the channel. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into the discussion, or I don't know, discussion, history lesson, whatever. So, Warframe is a game that I never had heard about until sometime in early 2021. One of my good friends was playing it, and he had kind of gotten, or one of my good friends, we'll just call him D. He got me in, or he got a couple friends into the game, and eventually, including myself. So for this scenario, we'll just say there's D, there's J, there's K, and yeah, I don't know. You're not gonna remember these letters, so I'm just gonna drop this. So the friend who introduced me, he introduced a few other of my friends to the game. And so one time I saw them playing it, and they're like, or the introducer was like, "Hey, yo, Dev, you should download this game." Then I'm like, I probably won't, but sure. How much does it cost? I guess. Mind the chair. And they're like, "Oh, it's free." Then I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well then, bam, I'll get it." And so I download the game, and then the next day we play, and I kind of just. It takes a bit of time, but I do quickly get hooked to the game. If you couldn't tell by the amount of time I spent on it, assuming I edit that in. If not, then that's gonna sound stupid. But yeah, I quickly got hooked on it, and after about maybe 2 weeks of real time, not my time on the game. About 2 weeks after we were playing, the guy who introduced us into it was kind of burnt, or I don't know. I don't think he was burnt out. I just think other stuff caught up to him, and so the rest of us that he introduced us, or the rest of us who were introduced to the game by him, we continued playing. Although I definitely went the most hardcore with it, I guess. But yeah, if you're curious, the starting frame that I chose was Mag, because there's three starting frames. And yeah, I know a lot of people choose Volt. Excalibur is also a pretty popular choice, but I chose Mag. She seemed fun, and I don't regret that decision. But I quickly swapped over to Rhino, who would quickly become one of my favorite frames, and also someone I would play way too often. And I would get way too attached to him. I ignored anyone and everyone else just for him, which to an extent is fine, but yeah, I stayed hooked on him for too long before, opening my eyes and trying other things. But yeah, I progressed through the star chart pretty much just fine. There were some points where I kind of got stuck, and sometimes I'd have the guy who introduced us to the game help me out a bit if I needed it, but he liked to grind the game just for some of the like rare items like the prime parts and whatnot, which I'm sure if you have never heard of the game before or don't really know anything much about it, then everything I'm saying is going to sound like gibberish, which if so, then I'm sorry. But or to put it simply, prime parts are stuff that you can grind for. They give you like deluxe versions of items, basically. That's the easiest way to explain it. But yeah, he liked to grind those prime items and whatnot and try and carry us through those missions, which, I mean, I'm all for helping people out and whatnot, but I think that was, I don't know, being where I am now with the game, I guess, I don't think that was exactly the right move to do, at least to try and like get us into the game and get us to where he's at, because he didn't actually even try and really get us to where he was at, but that's not that big of a deal. But I quickly, well, I say quickly, I spent over 30 days on the game at this rate, but I eventually caught up to where he was in in most cases. I caught up to where he was in the story. I caught up to about where he was in what levels and whatnot he could handle. Eventually, I'd surpass him in both of those. And then the only venture that he was above me on was mastery rank, which is your overall rank in the game. And he's still above me on that, I think, but just barely, because as I said earlier, I was too laser focused on Rhino. I actually pretty early on into the game, I was able to get my hands on Rhino Prime from someone, which made me happy, and I'm still happy I have him. Excuse me. But that being said, I, as I previously stated, I got too hooked on Rhino, and that was to the point where I used as many forma on him as I could, which if you don't know what forma is, it's basically once you get a level to a max, or once you get a character to its max rank, you can use a forma on it to basically prestige it with a couple benefits like add or being able to add more mods to your items, and yeah, that's pretty much all it sums up to. It's just Warframe's way of prestiging items and whatnot. But I did that for so long and was complaining to myself, why does it take so long to get my mastery rank up? It took me until shit, probably mastery rank 10 to realize, after just using a couple different weapons that I decided to try out, it took me way too long to realize that once you get an item to level 30 for the first time, or whatever its max level is, then even if you prestige it, the XP you get doesn't count towards your mastery rank again. So I kind of hated myself for spending all that time prestiging this one character and whatnot that I was laser focused on just for actually nothing. Because I had more than enough mod space for him. So it wasn't really even that. But yeah, he's now just sat in my inventory with like 8 or 9 prestiges, maybe even more. Actually, I think I might have been stupid enough to prestige him maybe 15 times, but I should double check that. But either way, it took me too long to learn not to do stupid stuff like that. And even then, I still do stupid stuff, but that tends to be with scenarios that I'm newer to. And so, yeah, that kind of wraps up my time earlier on with the game. But when I started playing the game, if you're curious, is when the update Call of the Tempestari came out, which I will say right now, experiencing some of the updates afterwards, it's still my favorite update in way of the like lobby audio or whatnot. Like, because when you load into the game, it shows you kind of like, oh, this is Warframe, and then it tells you which update it is, and then it has a soundtrack that goes along with the update. And so for Call of the Tempestari, I'd say that's still my favorite audio in the launch or whatever. But that's the update I started with, and I heard about the Warframe that got added with it, which is Sevagoth, and once I got my hands on him, he really quickly became one of my favorite characters. And to this day, I'd say he's still one of my favorite characters in the game. Although I'm also falling in love with a couple others, but yeah, Savagoth would definitely be in my top three, I'd say. And I also liked the sound of the Railjack missions, which were new around the time that I played and around the time Sevagoth came out and whatnot. And so I pushed a little earlier than I should have probably to getting to that update and whatnot, or just getting to some later game material in the Railjack stuff. Which, I mean, now that I look back on it, it's not too late game, because I'm not even sure what late game is, or like what's done at the end game situation. Because I I don't even know where I'd consider myself with the game. I'm definitely not a beginner, but I doubt I'm nearing the end game. But I pushed for Railjack stuff, and I kind of got caught at a certain point where I couldn't beat it, and then eventually I was able to. But the Veil Proxima definitely had me screwed over for a while. It took a lot of cheesing missions and whatnot to beat to where I did right, or to where I currently am as you're seeing this video, which is just like 3 missions left. And that's because I didn't really have a necromech when I got here, or when I got to the point I'm at, for the most part. And I also didn't really like complete the war within and whatnot, so I didn't really have the operator. Or I mean, I did, but I didn't do anything with it, so I didn't have any good amp or anything like that. So I kind of just walked into like a level 50 scenario with level 1 equipment. It was not a good move. But that being said, I then worked on the open world stuff. I did Deimos first, or yeah, I did the open world stuff at the Necrolisk on Deimos, and worked my way to getting the Necromech, which I eventually just bought with Platinum, but I'm gonna work towards the other one, probably. And then afterwards, I went to Fortuna and worked my way up with them, got my standing up and whatnot with the syndicates there. And I've done most of the stuff on Fortuna now. The only thing that I need to do is the Profit Taker orb. I've faced down and can comfortably beat the Exploiter orb at this rate. And then on Cetus, I still need to face the Eidolons. I've taken them down before, but never solo, and that's a venture I'd like to do. So one of the future videos on this game, if you guys enjoy seeing it, is gonna be facing the 3 Eidolons solo. And then in the way of videos I'll do, if I'd never really said it, but if it's not obvious by the Eidolons comment, then I'll also face the Profit Taker in a video. But then, in way of main story, I have gotten as far as Prelude to War, or I think that's the last quest I completed. Right now, I have 3 quests available, being Mask of the Revenant, the Wave Rider, which is an update, or which is a quest and update that came out just as I stopped playing. I made some progress on it, but not too much. And then an update I was excited for and wanted to record, but then never did, was the new war. That seemed like a really big update, a really cool update. And I think I even bought one of the bundles for the new Warframe that came out with that update, which was Caliban. And then I just never played the game. But I think I not I think the next video should be me starting to go through the new war update. And yeah, I after that there's the Veil Breaker quest, which I think introduces me to a new thing related to something called an Archon. I don't know what it is. I just know of a couple things like some of the mods. I think there's crystals that you can add to your character. to boost some sort of stats. And then I know there's some sort of boss called an Archon, or I don't know if it's the boss called an Archon. I just know there's a thing called an Archon Hunt, but I don't know much about that. But that being said, that's something I'd definitely like to look into doing, but I'm not. I don't know. I think that's related to the Veil Breaker quest. I have reason to believe that with the current Nightwave cycle, because there's a quest or the Elite Weekly Challenge is locked behind that quest, and so I'm just assuming that it's complete an Archon hunt is the challenge, and then it's locked behind that. And then there's one more quest that I have afterwards, which is Angels of the Zeraman or whatnot. I think that's what it's called. I know that that's what the update was called, but I heard about that. That came out after the new war because I've kind of kept tabs on the game, but I again never really played it. Anything. Or I stopped playing the game after the Wave Rider and Sisters of Parvos came out, but I definitely was interested in some things, and I'd like to experience those still. So I also heard, I think they're adding a new open world, but that's a future update. But I was excited when I got back. One of the last frames that I had played before I stopped playing was Baruch, and so I was excited to see that they added his prime to the game pretty recently because I really enjoyed playing Baruch. And then I looked into the expected primes to come out this year. I know one of the friends that I play with, he'll be excited for Hildren Prime. She should be the next Prime, I think. At least that's what rumor has it. That's going to be the next Prime because that's pretty much his main frame that he plays right now, or one of his mains. And then there's Goss and Grendel Prime towards the end of the year, which I'm excited for because I enjoyed playing those frames towards the end of my time with the game. And then recently, I've been trying to just boost my mastery rank up since I got Baruch Prime. I wanted to craft his signature prime weapon, and I needed to be mastery rank 14. And when I stopped playing, I was mastery rank 12. I was able to work my way to 13, and then recently I've been working my way to 14. And I finally actually hit that mark today, just before I'm recording this audio. And so I'm happy about that. And the last thing that pushed me over was that frame that I was excited about, which is Caliban, because I'd say my favorite faction in the game right now is the Sentients. So, I mean, I already was intrigued and liked the Sentients when Caliban was getting added, but especially trying to hunt Eidolons now and whatnot, I was thinking, yeah, I think this guy is going to be really cool. So I pretty much brainstormed a design for him and whatnot. And since I bought one of the bundles, I have some bonus cosmetics for him. And then I also have a cosmetic for my Sentinel that I used, my drone, which is kind of like a sentient skin. So I took some photos. If I'm smart, I'll throw them up right now. But I was like, yeah, this guy, I think he's going to be fun. And so far, I'm really enjoying his play style. He's a really fun frame to play. So I was thinking, or I initially thought when the new war came out, yeah, I want to take down the sentients as a sentient or whatnot, because it seemed like the sentients were the main enemy to fight. And so I was thinking, yeah, get Caliban, have him be the ship captain and whatnot, fight the enemies. I don't know. Uh, I'll probably just go through as whoever seems practical, but yeah, it just I've been playing Caliban, and then afterwards, or before Caliban, I leveled up Saren Prime because she's someone that I had gotten before my time was up with the game, and I kind of, or I don't know. There's a few characters and weapons and whatnot that I had, but one of the most notable ones that I was sitting on that I leveled up recently was Saren Prime. She seems really strong and really fun. So aside from that, I'd say Caliban's probably the only other notable person. And so, yeah, you'll probably just see me playing a mix of whoever I find fun, but yeah, for the sake of the missions that we're doing in this video, I was just playing Haro since he can give himself enough protection with some of his abilities. And so, yeah, I think that about wraps up the history lesson. And if you're watching, or if you watched through this far, then thanks. That actually really means a lot to me. And I'm shocked you sat through it all. But I'm just going to hand it over back to my past self who recorded this video. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And if you've watched this far, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. Have a wonderful day, and hope to catch you in the new war update video in the next video. I was going to say next week, but I don't think it'll take... I mean, it might take that long. I really don't know. But, yeah. Thanks again for watching, and enjoy the rest of the video. That is not where I aimed you. I need to for whatever. In the next video, we can start the new war.
Beat them back as best you can. If they get the upper hand, get the hell out.
So is this going to be same layout? No. But it'll be same situation.
There's our problem. An Orphix. Soon it'll spread the pulse field wider.
Intercept those Tenno. Any damage they cause will
All right.
be deducted from your salaries.
Orphix exposed again. Theoretically, we can handle it.
It's down. Good work.
Now, where's the next one gonna be?
Big old Orphix ahead.
Up here. Alright. Charge! Alright, once I lose that sword, it's gonna be kind of over, though. Actually, that reminds me. I wanted to see how much damage can I do with the operator.
Orphix.
I can't do damage with the operator. Ooh. Okay. Can I finish this, or is it gonna spawn more stuff in? Alright, no, we're good.
Should give us some breathing space.
Now, my question is the Void Reeks that spawns around going to be better for this, or am I doing it right with what I have? I know they'll be unmodded, so that'll be an issue. Whatever. While we're at it, we could take out the Oculists.
Big nasty on the scope.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, and done. Alright. I would try and, like, survive for the sake of the mission or whatever. Like, I would try and I would try and stick it out for longer than just the 5 minutes I would need to, but I have one more mission to do, and I've already been playing for like an hour and a half. Actually, it's coming on closer to 2 hours, but oh well. I also need to take a leak, so I'm gonna do that after this mission. You guys didn't need to know that, especially because I'll cut it out, but whatever. But yeah, we'll do this video on, or I don't know. I think I'll do a couple videos on Warframe, especially if you guys are liking them. So, or especially if you guys like them. So, please feel free to just leave a comment with any sort of video suggestions. If you're enjoying Warframes, or if you're enjoying this video, then let me know. If you don't want to see more Warframe, also feel free to let me know. Because, yeah, I want to cater to anyone who's watching. But, yeah, if you have any tips for anything, any tips for what I should do in Warframe, any tips for what I should do on the channel, any sort of tips. If you have them, feel free to give them, or like let me know what tips you have in the comments below. And yeah, just I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. But yeah, after this video, I don't know if I'm gonna do any more grounded videos like next. Well, I'm still gonna do grounded videos if I can be bothered to play the game, which I still want to see what the ending's like, because although I've commented on it and I know that there's like a good ending and a bad ending, I do want to experience those, because thankfully I haven't seen what those endings are yet, or what it's like. And so I'd still be interested in going through Grounded, especially because we still have to beat the Praying Mantis, as you might have seen from my last video. But yeah, in way of Warframe videos, I want to go through the updates, and I want to go through some Steel Path stuff, go through some open world bosses, and so I don't know, I'd like to record that and whatnot, go through that with you guys. And then I also said in my last video that I'd be interested in doing some videos with my friends, and that still holds true. Like, about a week and a half ago maybe, we had just randomly decided to play Gang Beasts, like 3 or 4 of us, and that was a lot of fun to play. And I was thinking I would love to record this, but I didn't have space on the computer at the time, because I didn't I didn't edit down the Grounded video that uploaded a few days ago as of me recording this. There's a few things I didn't do. I didn't edit down the video, and so I had too much space from old videos on the computer. And also, I just didn't feel like shifting to my computer, but I would have gotten in my chair, sat at the computer and whatnot if I had the space on the computer, but I didn't. But in the future, soon, I would love to, and I might record some videos with friends, whether it's just us messing around, getting upset with each other on Overwatch, or if we sporadically decide to play something like Gang Beasts again. I would happily record that, and hopefully you guys would enjoy watching me and my friends play games, mess around, and have fun. And then, I know I already mentioned to let me know if you have any tips, suggestions, or anything else in the comments below, but if there's anything you want to see me and my friends play, then let me know, because I know there's some games I'd be interested in playing with them. I'm sure if you guys kind of like our vibe and whatnot, there's some games you'd want to see us play. So just let us know, or let me know, and I'll let them know. See if they'd be interested in buying, or just buying games that you might want to see, downloading games that would be free that you'd like to see us play. Like, even if it's a game on Roblox, like some Build a City Tycoon, if you want to see us play that, then definitely let us know, because they like the sound of free, most of my friends, but I know I wouldn't mind. I would be okay spending like up to $20 on a game and whatnot if it looks fun and you guys want to see it. and whatnot. And for my friends, I'm sure it would be a similar story. Like, if they like the look of the game and whatnot, it sounds fun, then I'm sure they'd be interested in downloading it as well. But, yeah, just, if you want to, just feel free to, basically what I'm trying to say is anything video related. Suggestions, hopes of what you want to see, whatever. Let me know what it is, and I will try and get it done. Otherwise, we have one more mission to do for this video. Alright, just keep my overshields up like crazy, and run to extraction. Because the fact that we really almost died from like 2 bullets there is painful. I didn't make a big deal out of it because I was able to throw my thing and get some shields back, but that was stupid how we were so close to death from like 2 shots at the end there. Alright, new mod, firewall, achievement, awesome. For completing all corpus nodes. Void hole, again. Anything else special? More endo, cool. And that seems to be it. Alright, let's see what that new mod does for us, and then we can call it a video. In the next video, though, we can do the new war, and that'll be fun. Probably. Alright. We are out of here. Let's see. Firewall reduces... Oh, it's a Parazon mod. Reduces damage by 75% while hacking. Damn, of course. We get a new mod, and it's not even for our railjack. Okay. Well, that'll do it for this video, I guess. If you would like to see more Warframe videos, please let me know in the comments. Or if you have any other sort of video suggestions for me on my own, or videos I might make with my friends, please let me know. Whether that be just what you want us to do in games, what games you want us to play, or just, I guess, some fun, like, for example, as I mentioned earlier, Gang Beasts, if we play that again, some handicaps, like, or I don't know actually really how you could handicap yourself in Gang Beasts, but I don't know. If you want us to do some sort of like challenges you come up with or whatnot in any games, uh, or just if you have any games you want us to play, definitely let me know, and I'll be sure to translate to that or translate that to them if they also want to play anything. If not, then or if I am gonna make videos with them. Which, I mean, I probably will make videos with my friends, but yeah, either way. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. It would really mean a lot to me, but even if you just enjoyed this video, I've done my job. And with that being said, I hope to catch you in the next video, which I'm not sure what the video will be, but it could be Warframe, it could be anything else, but yeah, I hope to catch you in the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.